Good morning, grade 6s. Today we are working with hundredths. Now last week we were introduced to hundredths. We have worked with hundreds, tens and units. Those are the whole numbers. This is the decimal comma which separates the whole numbers from the fractions. And then we have worked with tenths, and now we are working with hundredths. Remember that tenths are written like that, and hundredths are written like that. Now let's have a look at the number that I've placed in the place value columns. This number is 4,56. We do not read it as 4,56. We read it as 4,56. But when we write it as words, it is confusing because we read it as 56 hundredths. Let's have a look. We write it in words like this. 4, which is 4 wholes, and 56 hundredths. Because we have got 4 plus 56 out of 100. Remember, if we look back at our columns, that where our number ends, that tells us that it goes over 100. It ends in the hundredths column, so it must be hundredths. So 4 wholes and 56 hundredths is written like this in words and like that in expanded notation. Let's have a look at an abacus. If we were to write this number in expanded notation as a number and in words, it would look like this. As a number, we have got 2 in the hundreds column. We've got 0 tens and we have 3 units. Then we have the decimal comma and we have 1/10 and 2 hundredths. So our number is 203 and 12 hundredths. So we would write it in words like this. 203, those are our whole numbers. Now for our decimals. And 12 hundredths. Because it ends in the hundredths column, we call it hundredths. How would we write this in expanded notation? It would be 200. There are no tens, but there are 3 units. Plus, now we can either write 1/10 plus 2 hundredths, or we can write it as decimals. 0,1 plus 0,02. Let's look at this number here. And we want to write it as a number. 345 hundredths. Well, those are our whole numbers. Those are our decimals. So if we've got 300, and you are welcome to use columns if they help you, plus 45 hundredths. If we look at our columns again, 300 is written like that. Hundreds, tens and units. 45 hundredths is written like this: 0,45. Hundredths must end in the hundredths column. And if we add that up, we get 345 hundredths.